Thanks for joining us. I'm Rebecca Bullard, and we're here to talk about persuasive writing.
I'm Gabriel Lopez. I'm a first-year film student, and I'm taking persuasive writing as an optional module.
And I'm Mary Morrissey, and I'm the module convener.
I should have said I'm the admissions tutor and also a lecturer here in the English department. So Mary, tell us a little bit about persuasive writing, this unusual module that we offer here in the department.
Persuasive writing was a module I cooked up with a colleague, Cindy Becker, a few years ago. I wanted to have more rhetoric in our curriculum because I study persuasive speech. And I wanted to have more non-fiction in the curriculum. And Cindy also wanted to embed at the start of our degree more work-placed writing. So the kinds of writing that pretty much all of our students will be doing when they leave uni. So persuasive writing was what came out of that. And it deals with two kinds of communication. It deals with writing to inform and writing to persuade. So thinking about writing to inform, we look at how to produce a form. How do you give people information and tell them what information you need from them? How do you write in a plain, clear style that foregrounds the information that your reader needs? So it's thinking about your audience, your reader all the time. And then we look at persuasion more directly. We look at the way that facts and statistics, particularly nowadays, are used and manipulated in politics and in marketing. And we look also at the way voice and gesture and appeals to the emotions are used. And students take all of this information and use it to create a presentation in which they prove that something they dislike, like Brussels sprouts or coffee, is actually bad for your health. So there's some humour there too.
That's great. And so that's part of the assessment for the module. Is it assessed by exam or essay? How does it work?
There's no exam. There are several small assessments over the course of the year. We write a summary of an article. There's a group authored Prezi Exercise where students in a group have to create a Prezi, again, explaining something like how to register to vote or how to, a fresher's guide or something like that. They have a series of letters and emails thinking about tone and address. So one of the emails the students write, I don't know how you get on with this, but it's how you would approach a member of the department if you were not happy about the mark you got in an assignment. How would you tactfully suggest that you would like that revisited? And then there's the presentation about Brussels sprouts. And the final assessment is a report that the students do either on a placement that they've done recently or on a research project into the use of persuasive language and persuasive writing, either historically or on campus or in the media or in education. There's a lot of scope.
Great. So Gabriel, you're in the first year now. You're taking this module right at the moment.
Yes.
What are you enjoying about it?
Well, what I like about it myself is that it doesn't just inform your writing itself. Like it hasn't just been my writing to improve, but also my consumption of media, whether it be advertisements, news articles, anything like that. I find that I'm now actively thinking about what the writer wants me to feel or think about their work and how they're achieving that. So a lot of times it's really subtle. There are inclusions in there. They're trying to get you to buy their product or agree with their political views, and they'll include they'll have subtle inclusions or even things that they exclude, things that they don't include. And I find I'm now actively thinking about that. And another thing I like is that the way it's run with the peer review groups. So there's lots of optional work, so you can take as much as you want from the module as you're willing to, essentially. But at the same time, you don't feel bogged down if you're going through extremely busy times. So right now I'm in a play, have lots of rehearsals. I don't have as much time as I did before to do all of the extra optional work. Because it's optional, I can opt out of it essentially. So I do like that. If you're an enthusiastic student, you want to get more from it, you can.
I think the peer reviewing was something that was important to us as well, because we think of writing as something very kind of individual. You go off into your garret and you write your great novel all by yourself. But actually, every writer will tell you it's not like that. You write as part of a team. Some of the best screenwriting that I can think of is written by teams of writers.
Absolutely.
Even if you're writing a novel, you will have editors, you will have, proofreaders, and everything I write, it goes to colleagues. You have read some of my material. We pass it round. We get comments. So that practice of giving feedback and also taking feedback is really important to writing.
It's particularly useful because in persuasive writing, your goal is to influence other people.
Nice.
And they might react differently to what you've written than you think you would if you put. So when you write, oftentimes you put yourselves into other people's shoes and think, how will they react to this? But it's a completely different experience having your peers see it and react to it. You get an authentic idea, essentially.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So we're in an English department and you're a film student. It's an option that you can take as an optional module. Students outside our department are able to take it. How is it helping with your film studies? And what are the connections between persuasive writing and the work that you're doing for the rest of your degree?
They're definitely highly connected. Film and literature. They're connected because it's quite similar. But instead of writing, it's on the screen. It's a screenplay. It's basically being performed. I'm quite enthusiastic about screenwriting myself, so it's definitely helped to improve that because every word I've thought much more about the language of my scripts and how that's going to how the viewer is going to react to that. It's definitely helped hugely with that. And there was also I suppose edgy is a word that lots of people would use, but we had a segment we went over political correctness as a topic, and that was definitely helpful in terms of thinking, because when you're reaching a broad audience, you have to think much more carefully about these things, and that bit on political correctness for me was particularly helpful, because it's not just even when you're not looking to offend anyone, you can just by using the wrong word. And even words that aren't like generally seen as offensive. A lot of the time, people can get it can rub people in the wrong way. And
that awareness of audience is vital. You have to be aware. Depressingly, that lecture is really easy to update every year. There's something else in the news. Oh gosh, here we go again. But it's I think we put that lecture with the exercise, writing letters and emails, and in some of those you are writing on behalf of somebody else. And that's where those kind of thinking about not you writing to your peers, but how you represent other people becomes very important. If you're writing on behalf of your friends or your colleagues, or an organization that employs you, you have to be doubly careful that you do not accidentally give offense or deliberately give offense, because you're not just giving your own view. It's not personal. It is other people that you're taking responsibility for too.
So it's really a module about becoming a citizen as much as it is about becoming a writer, about living in a complex society and thinking about different kinds of responses that your language, whether it's written or spoken.
Is it too pompous to say that in the humanities, writing is the way that we exercise citizenship, whether it's writing for the screen, whether it's in the media or the written and spoken word, that is the way that we influence others and that we exercise citizenship. So I think it is, and increasingly significant, that we think about these things. There are so many careers where people are practicing dark arts or manipulating what we think. We do need to know they are there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's also helped to inform decisions you make in your personal life. Like, for example, in our latest assignment, we had to write a letter to a friend who lost a family member recently. And that
hardest letter.
It's a very difficult letter,
really
and that's
is.
something that many people will have to do in their lives outside of it. Because when you think of persuasive writing, you think of writing to your employer, writing to your lecturer, making an advertisement and things like that. But even in your personal life, you do have to communicate with friends sometimes about touchy topics like that. And you have to remain tactful.
Absolutely. Great. Well, I hope that's given you a flavour of this module. If you have any questions, we're very happy to take them either by Facebook or if you want to tweet us, you can do that. You can find us on Twitter, or you can write to us at English-literature@reading.ac.uk, and we hope to hear from you soon.